Trust Teen Stress. I'm Ava Shrestha, and welcome back to our Teen Stories Told series, where we interview teens or individuals that just crossed their teen years to share their mental health story and give us their thoughts and opinions on teen mental health. Today, I'm here with Miss Teen Asia America International, Allison Pan. Allison, can you please start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me first off. Um, as about previously introduced, I'm Miss Teen Asia America International. So as a pageant queen, there's definitely a lot to deal with in the mental health aspect, and I've just like gone a long way to kind of deal with that and be able to cope with the stress that comes along with adolescence. Outside of pageants, I do competitive Chinese classical dance. I help homeless communities with my nonprofit. I do a little bit of speech and debate. I'm passionate about biology. I hope to be a biology major and eventually go to the pre-med track. And I hope to help more people through my medicine career as well. So, yeah.
So balancing your academic responsibilities, your pageantry, and as you said, like the numerous extracurricular commitments that you have can be very challenging. So how
Mhm.
do you prioritize your time and manage stress to ensure a balanced lifestyle?
Yeah, so I like to, take a couple days off when I'm feeling too overwhelmed. I like to have self-care days. So there's days where I'll just like, I don't know, just do whatever that helps me feel de-stressed. So some days I'll do like a little skincare routine, a little bit of self-talk always helps. And I am a big journaler, so I love to write down my feelings. And it's really important to be able to prioritize your own emotions, your feelings, and take that before anything else. And also, just time management has helped with being able to balance academics as well as extracurriculars. So, making a lot of time slots for like my pageant events, my dance rehearsals, and then also just making sure I stay on track with my academics. So, being able to complete my assignments and stuff, and asking questions during class, like little things like that really helps to lighten the workload so it's not as much to think about. And I love making to-do lists, making sure like I can check things off throughout the day. That helps me feel a little less overwhelmed. So yeah, just little things like that helps me de-stress a little bit.
And then, as we kind of talked a little bit before, you're involved in a bunch of different activities where you uphold positions. A couple of them are like you are the program director for the Bloom Institute, the
Mhm.
founder and executive director for Project Stitch Up, co-founder of Pan Chub Boba, and many more things. So, from these experiences, do you think that your involvement has helped you grow personally and academically? Why or why not?
Yes, definitely. So, my position as executive director and founder for Project Stitch Up has helped me really be able to connect communities and be able to connect those who want to help and those who are seeking for help together and be able to like be a part of that process of delivering, whether it be like handmade crochet projects, whether it be clothes for the homeless shelters. That's just something that's so important to being able to grow personally and just really see like an impact I make in the world. And that's been very, very empowering, obviously. And as part of like Bloom and Girls in STEM, Light of the World, like all these organizations that connect people, it's been incredibly rewarding to see the impact I make on other people and just being able to really, beyond having an impact on the world, connect people I already know, communities around me with Pencha, like being able to deliver, affordable boba drinks to people in my community. That's been incredibly rewarding personally. And yeah, it's been a really good experience.
So you're a dancer and you've been competitively dancing for a while now. How do
Mhm.
you think that it has helped or hurt your mental health with everything else you do?
I think overall it's been positively impacting my mental health. There are definitely struggles that I've heard from other dancers too, about like body image or just like the toll that it takes on mental health. And it is definitely difficult to struggle with that, but finding a good community of like dancers who will help you through that and who will support you and uplift you rather than put you down is really important. And I've participated in a lot of like charity dance events and like beyond like competitive dancing, community dance events for cultural festivals. So that's been super like uplifting to see the impact that my dance makes on my community and being able to do that with a group of people who, a group of girls who really really are dedicated to their mission as well. That's been really helpful. But there are definitely some hiccups along the way, if you will. But it's been pretty positive for me overall, being able to express and communicate through my body language, I guess. Yeah.
So from what you're saying, it seems like dancing is kind of like a coping mechanism for you.
Right. It's definitely like an outlet for me, like being able to release through like expression, through dance. It's been, yeah, really helpful.
So what other coping skills do you tend to turn to when you're going through a rough patch?
So I love baking. I think the kitchen is where I like find myself and being able to, like have the kitchen to myself, have those moments where I just kind of like reflect or do something that's like I can take my mind off of like the busy world around me. So that like when I go back into it, I'm a better, more like put together person, I guess, or just face everything with a more like optimistic attitude. I like to do things like that. And I like to crochet, obviously, do little like, I like to do art as well. So things like that, like to divert my attention, if you will, like hobbies, other coping mechanisms. I love listening to music and yeah.
So, in today's digital age, technology and social media can have both a positive and negative effect on our mental health. So, how do you manage these influences to maintain a healthy mindset?
Yeah, so I'm actually very passionate about the social media divide and the balance between having like a healthy relationship and letting it influence you toxically. I actually did one of my original oratories about social media and its influence on young girls, specifically, and teenagers across the board, obviously. But for me, I think it's about finding a balance between, letting social media define you, letting those influences, those supermodels, or whatever it is, feeling left out, fear of missing out, all those things influence you, and finding a platform to connect with people to advocate for issues you care about. So I think that as long as we're using social media in a limited, in a positive way, it can be very powerful in that, a lot of people do a lot of advocacy on social media. A lot of people, form organizations on social media. So it's important to like not disregard that when considering like the harms of social media. There's obviously a lot of toxic beauty standards, but being able to, like take our times off the screens for a little bit and like rethink, reevaluate how we're using our screens. That's really important in making progress towards using social media in a productive way.
Yeah, and then more of your like pageantry side. So you're a title holder of Miss Teen Asia America International and also of Miss Teen of Texas. So
Mhm.
what has your journey to those titles looked like, and how have they made an impact of your on your life, positively and negatively?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd love to share. So I got into pageantry because my sister, she's been in it for a little bit now. But yeah, like it just took like a lot of practice rehearsals, a lot of walking in heels. Because when I first went into pageantry, I didn't really know anything, and I like um couldn't, I guess, wasn't in the financial situation to be getting like to be buying these like extravagant gowns. So I had to compromise and like find things that within my price range, not rely on like a pageant coach, not rely on a makeup artist. So a lot of it was self-learning and being able to like get the hang of like, how to like do my winged eyeliner, how to like put on lashes. Those are the little details, but overall like it made a really big impact on how I viewed like self-learning, and being able to like navigate that myself was challenging at first, but in the end, it was really rewarding. And finding that community of girls who were similarly passionate about, being a leader, being a role model, and that was really like really nice to be around them all the time. They're a really positive group of girls. For Miss Asia America International, we had like a cultural heritage part of it where we wore our cultural gown and just shared a little bit more about our respective countries. And I think that was really nice to be able to connect to my roots. And yeah, and there's along the way, there was a lot of like prepping for interview questions, for onstage questions. Those things like really like helped me build a lot of life skills, I guess, that I will definitely use in the future. And for Miss Teen of America, that pageant, it was a national pageant, but it really was very eye opening to be able to compete on a national stage. But similar processes, just being able to like, it really just went down to the like little sessions of walking in heels, little like mirror pep talks, things like that really like fed into it. But yeah, definitely navigating it without like a pageant coach, without a makeup artist was a little bit difficult, but um finding my little own rhythm, I guess, in pageantry was yeah, really confidence boosting and also being able to like uplift young communities around me by being their role model, I guess, has been really empowering too.
Yeah, I always thought, like, the whole pageantry, like, process, always thought was very interesting, so
Mhm,
it's really cool to hear that from you. So,
mhm,
we're both seniors, so that means,
yes.
college applications, a college.
Mhm, mhm.
What are some things you've learned about mental health reflecting throughout your high school journey, and what, of those you want to take to university?
Okay, yeah, I think that's a great question. For me, in the beginning of high school, I guess we were all in COVID, but it was definitely a struggle to begin thinking about like, having these extracurricular activities, prepping for the college application process. I know like my parents kind of put a little bit of pressure, not too much, on me to like, begin thinking about those things. And it definitely was very overwhelming when you don't really know what's ahead of you or what that process really looks like. But in the end, just for me, the advice that I'd give is just take it like one day at a time. I know that sounds super cliche, but it really does help. Like being able to like look at what's in front of you and saying like, "Oh, I completed this little thing, so like I'm one step ahead already." And like just really like don't be too hard on yourself because that can be really damaging. But yeah, college application process, I guess, really like kind of starts junior year, a little bit into senior year. But yeah, just being able to prioritize, prioritize yourself over anything. But like, I like to just get a little bit of, like prioritize like 2 or 3 hours a day over the summer to like writing essays and getting that fleshed out over the summer just really like helps lighten my workload. And then everything else, I think having my sister guide me through everything has been really helpful. But yeah, definitely if you have anyone be able to reach out to them or like, I don't know, if they have like college counselors, that's definitely really helpful to help you like, get a feel of like if you're doing things right or wrong, I guess. Or I guess there isn't really a right or wrong, just like if you're right on the right track. And yeah, it's just been like very very rewarding in the end, like being able to see the progress that you're mounted to. But yeah, college jobs have been stressful to say the least, but eventually we'll make it through and it'll be okay. Just taking it one thing at a time and prioritizing yourself over anything.
Then lastly, what advice would you give to someone out there that's struggling with their mental health, or like some kind of message that you would like to relay on to our adjusting stress audience?
Okay, yeah. For me, I guess reaching out for help has been difficult if you're like feeling like you're not in a great mental space. So I think my biggest advice would just to be always reach out for help if you need it. Like if you even if you don't think you need it, if you're struggling, please reach out for help because there's people out there who love and support you and will definitely do anything to, help you navigate through whatever you're dealing with. And I think it doesn't matter like how small or big the issue you're dealing with you think like it's like too small or like, people won't care about it. It definitely is it's definitely super important to be able to like reach out for help because again, no one around you can help you if you don't like go out and seek their help first. So being able to ask for help and like recognizing when you need that help is really important. So yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Allison, for sharing,
Thank you.
and thank you so much for helping us address teen stress.